Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Um, so, I was sitting there wondering how to start this off. But pretty much, I know that I said that I wasn't going to be doing days reviews anymore. And for a while, I wasn't because, well, I was also sitting there trying to study for my test to get into the Navy. So doing general, doing days, the two reviews, trying to study, it was just kind of a lot. Um, but I actually have more time. Pretty much, I'm actually getting out of work a little bit earlier. Um, so I have more time, and plus, I already took and passed my test for the Navy. I'm just kind of waiting to do the physical part. But yeah, I have a lot more time now. So I've been wanting to get into days for a while because I feel like it is a perfect balance to watching GH sometimes because, well, I gotta be honest, this show tends to focus more on everyone as opposed to GH just kind of tends to focus more on Sunny and the Corinthos family, which is something I like about this show and some other stuff that I'll get into. But I gotta sit there and say before I get started, so I've been gone for like what 3 weeks. I come back and I'm just like, what show am I watching again? They got a new Abigail. They got a new Claire. I'm like, what? 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 What is going on? But to be fair, I gotta sit there and say, from the time that I actually saw a little bit of Abigail to the time that I see this new actress playing her, I gotta sit there and say, her acting is a lot better. Um, I know it's kind of harsh to say because I didn't really get to see that much of the old actress, but the stuff that I saw compared to this new one, yeah, yeah, I'm liking the new one. Um, but that's easy for me to say because I don't, I haven't really watched this show that long to get attached to characters, so um, that's easier for me to say. Um, Also, Claire. Well, I mean, they both act fine, and I from what I see right now, this Claire seems to act less of a 12-year-old girl than the last person that acted like Claire. But I feel that's more of a directional point and not really so much as her fault, maybe. Um, let's get into it. So, from what I understand, is that Vincent kidnapped Sierra to get back at Ben. Because Ben killed Vincent's fiance. And I gotta sit there and say, this is another one of those cases where it's like, I get that he's coming after Sierra, which doesn't have that much to do with Ben, but at the same time, it's like, well, I can't really be mad at him. Um, this guy Ben seemed like he was just going on a wild spree, just killing people just left and right, and I'm like, when somebody actually comment when I was like, Ben is probably one of my favorite characters. Well, I was like Steve and then some other people, and I threw Ben in there. And somebody was like, he's a necktie killer. He killed people. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was just like, all right, yeah, whatever. Like, I mean, that's just kind of my opinion from what I'm gathering. But after seeing Vicky Donovan talk about her daughter and this dude talk about his fiance, I'm like, Ben is is not to really turn out to be that much of a good character. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, he's not a terrible character, but it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you really like killed a bunch of people, and somehow you just skated past all of that, and you're just coming back into town, just a free man after you just ended people's lives. And I tried to put myself in a way where I was like, you know what? Look at GH, look at Sunny, and I look at Jason. But usually the people that they killed have been worser or it has been in some sort of self-defense to some extent. Except for Sunny. I'm not gonna lie, there's some people that he actually killed because I don't know, mob reasons. So, yeah, I try to put that in perspective, but I mean, this dude was just, I mean, granted, I understand that, you know, he was not in his right mind and stuff, but like, that still doesn't take away the pain from what other people felt when the loved ones was killed by this guy. So wow, Ben, and I will get to him in another day whenever I see him come back. So yeah, where was I? Oh, so yeah, Vincent was still holding Ciara captive, and she was, this dude is like, he has a syringe, and well, here's the thing, he sits there and tells her, like, I kind of want to take you out too because they were gonna fry him, and you stopped that, so you're kind of a part of this whole thing, and so yeah, I'm coming for you too. I mean, he killed my fiance, and she's like, yeah, well, I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry that happened. I guess that's supposed to make him. That's supposed to make him feel better because you're sorry that your husband murdered somebody else like a damn dog, pretty much. So I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like that was this is hollow as shit. I'm trying not to curse, but it really was. It was like, so anyway, this dude was like, all right, you know what? Listen, I got a syringe. I'm about to take you out. I'm just gonna make you a lot more compliant, and this is where I get into the point of, and I hate to sit there and say this, but you just felt like just because what I guess she was just some regular hot chick that just couldn't handle herself, and you were just I got this, whatever. And man, he get his ass. I'm trying not to curse, but pretty much he got those hands, and I gotta sit there and say, let's see, I was kind of a badass. At least in that moment that I saw, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, I didn't see that coming. So anyway, she pretty much stabs him with the syringe, and then she tries to get out the door, and of course the door doesn't open because it's soap opera logic. So apparently the door doesn't open until this guy wakes up, and she's about to get out. Okay, sure, yeah, that makes sense. So anyway, Hope is at the station, frantic or whatever. She finally gets a lead because of Sean and Jack, and then they go there. Well, Sean and Hope go there, and of course they're not there because why not? And I'm sitting there thinking, man, I hope this does not be like a 2-week thing, and pretty much I hope it's not like, well, General Hospital. As far as like super stretching out their stories. But yeah, apparently they're in a car. He has a gun. Vincent has a gun, and Ciara's in the car. And Ciara's like, "All right, if you're gonna like just shoot me, then just do it and get it over with." And then he says like, "Well, why would I do that, Wendy?" or something like that. And I'm like, "What?" So I'm not gonna lie, I was confused by that whole last scene. Let's see. We got Trip that's back, and he goes. Apparently, I guess he comes in and he knocks over something, and Steve, being the badass that he is, doesn't see who he is, and then he starts to proceed to choke him from behind. Realizes this is his son, and they, pretty much play catch up. And Steve is just like, "Well, why are you back here?" Because here's my whole thing. Trip is just like, I want to be close to home, and be close to family, and just really miss you people. And I'm like, I don't really feel like that's the whole story. I feel like it's because of a girl, because 8 out of 10 is usually is. And that's literally what the conversation was, He just was asking how he was doing. Why are you back? Why are you back? Why are you back? Anyway, long story short, they decide to go to the bar, whatever, to eat and catch up, and also to kind of, I don't know, I guess put Trip's mind at ease, because apparently he blamed Kayla for killing his mother or something, and I guess he's worried that they're not cool or on friendly terms or whatever still. So Steve was like, listen, let's just hang out at the bar. We'll catch up, and we'll let you know that she's good. So what else? So so anyway, Trip is walking, and he sees Claire, and mind you, Claire was at the bar not that long ago with Gwen. They were talking, sharing, I guess, their version of man stories or whatever. And pretty much Claire was like, I'm glad that he's gone, and I just couldn't take it or whatever. And of course, then they run into each other. Now, I've been watching this show for a good while, but from what I can understand is, Jake's a dick, and no one should ever really be Gwen. I know I said don't be a Sally, and I still do mean don't be a Sally, and maybe one day I will actually go back to watching, whatever that show is that I just can't remember for some odd reason. It'll come to me towards the end. But anyway, pretty much they had their last fight. And Jake pretty much cheated on her. I mean, I don't know if they were ever really together, but apparently he, I guess he said that, he wanted to sit there and go to dinner with Gwen. Gwen got all dressed up, and, Jake was upstairs having sex with Gabby, because why not? So at that point, it was just done. And my one complaint about Gwen was that I felt like she just didn't really have that much of a purpose. This dude literally shoved her in the closet because, she was some sort of dirty little secret of his. And I'm just not there thinking, so is this chick ever going to get the hint that he doesn't really care about you the same way that you care about him? But, yeah, so that happened. Also, in the beginning of the episode, you had, what the hell was her name? Gwen and Chad hugging each other. And Abigail walks into the room, and Abigail just gets straight to the point. She literally was just like, so, why would you hug my husband? Which, to be fair, you should probably be snipped there, and she did ask him later on, like, so what's going on between you two? But yeah, she was like, so why you hold my husband for? Like, what's going on, And they talk a little bit, but I'm not gonna lie, Abigail's just not having it. And so Gwen leaves. Apparently, they talk a little bit, Chad and Abigail, which is, okay, so here's the thing that's a little kind of jarring to me. When I first started watching this, Chad was all like, I don't want you to go, I think you should stay here, you sure you want to go, I'll come and see you, whatever, I'll come and support you, I can't wait till you get back home, and now he's not there talking to her, and he's like, are you sure it's fine for you to stay? I mean, like, are you sure you're already done? Like, I'm sitting there thinking, when did this change from I'm so mad that you're going to are you sure you're able to stay? So that kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. But they talked or whatever, and pretty much Abigail was just like, don't fight me on this. I'm like, he was kind of fighting the okay, whatever. Not gonna lie, sitting there thinking about that would probably hurt my head. But anyway, she's staying, and then she started asking more questions, like, because she found out that Chad was like, you know what, Gwen can stay. I felt bad for her, even though she broke up with Jake. And Abigail was just like, so if she's not with Jake, then like, why is she still staying? You really didn't answer that question. And before chat could really get into hot water, that's when Jack and Jennifer walk in. And I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't remember Jennifer's name for the life of me when this show first started. But pretty much just kind of, Saved by the Bell. And they're just happy that she's back. And I don't know what the hell is going to go on with Gwen's character at this point, because she's sitting in the bar by herself, and apparently she knew. They do this flashback where they're talking about champagne or whatever. They had a conversation about champagne. And I think, long story short, I think it was Gwen that put something in her drink, in her champagne drink. Gwen put something in Abigail's drink. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know what's going on. And sometimes I feel like they just literally infuse like some new history. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not really making any sense. But hopefully when I start watching it more, it will make sense down the line, because I was really confused by that part. And I was sitting there looking at my notes and I'm like, yep, I still don't understand. But anyway, that's actually gonna do it for this episode, well, this review of Days of Our Lives. I want to thank people that are still subscribed when this came up. Watching it, really appreciate it. And since I have some more time now, I kind of want to get back into it. And I'm not gonna lie, the story seems like it's going good. And again, it's a nice balance from GH, which I love. I love my GH. I grew up watching. Actually, to tell you the truth, I grew up watching All My Children, but GH is something I've been watching for a long time. With that being said, it's nice to have a balance of another show to kind of be like, all right, well, we're not just focused on like characters specifically. We're kind of focused on everyone. And also the way that they skip a lot of court trials that I like about this show more than GH, will kind of just, well, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was kind of a long one. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Let me know what you think about this episode. I know that this bar review was not that great as far as me being knowledgeable, but man, a lot of stuff has changed and a lot of people's going. Oh, and by the way, I will sit there and say this, and this is just my theory. So we all know at this point that you got the actress named Hope. I can't remember her real name, but she's leaving. Now, that actress has been on that show for a while. So at this point, I think we can all assume that Hope is going to go out saving Sierra. And that would make sense. That would be really cool. And very fitting for a character that has been on that show for so long. It will do that character justice. So I think that she's going to go out, saving her daughter. And that's just my thought. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next review.